Alright guys, this is my 1984 Chevrolet S10. It is a long bed. I bought this truck back in 2019, I believe. I think it was January. Drove down to St. Louis from Iowa and the day after we had like a 9-inch snowstorm, pulling a sketchy trailer, and I drug her home. Paid $2,800 for it. The guy told me, runs good, needs a little carburetor work. I get down there and it was running, but it was not running well. We load it on the trailer, I get it home, I go to take it off the trailer, nothing, won't fire, cranks, sputters. I do a little investigating and find out that the camshaft had been ground down to nothing. Metal went all through, you know, the oil jackets and everything, toasted all the bearings. So my $2,800 play toy turned into another $3,000 to rebuild this engine. The engine, it's the original block. Get this open here. It's the original block. Everything else is pretty much brand new. I did reuse the intake. It's a single plane Team G intake. Not the best thing for the street, but it works. It really likes anything above $4 grand. I put Pro Max cylinder heads on it, 202 valves, 64 cc chambers. It's got mild compression. I figured it up, it'd probably be about 9.3 to 1 in that area. Just a Steel Eagle crank, brand new bearings obviously. New oil pump, new distributor. That's just a standard Speedway HEI, nothing special about it. Holley 750, which I think is too much carb for this engine. I'm probably going to go down to a 650 eventually. I don't know, she runs good, but she seems like she's getting a little too much. Red valve covers. I put comp cams, roller rockers in it. It does have just a regular flat tappet hydraulic cam. Hardened push rods for the guide plates and the heads. High flow water pump. Chrome alternator. Jegs mini starter. Repainted all the headers. It's got a TH350 behind it. 2500 stall. It's got a heck of a shift kit in it. He must have put... You've got the street and the strip option. I'm pretty sure he set it up for the strip, because when you bang second gear, I mean, this sucker, it bangs. I am not sure what that radiator is out of, but it's got the radiator. We've got an electric cooling fan, and we've got the stock fan on the front of the engine. So the thing never ever gets above like 185, which is pretty good because these S10s with V8s have a tendency to overheat. Right there, I put a kill switch on my battery because I had some parasitic draws somewhere. So now, go, no go. So that's pretty nice. That was what I did a couple years ago when I first got it. This year, I decided I was going to go ahead and put a little more time into it. I drove it the way it was for a couple years. I got some vintage 1970s center lines. They still need cleaned up. They're a little dirty, and this one's got a little nick out of it right there, but these center lines leak like crazy, so I'm actually running tubes in this, all 4 tires. I tried it without the tubes, and they came out the next day and they were all about half flat. And rather than take the tires back off and bring them home, seal them up, take it back up, have them remounted, I figured I would just take them up and say throw some tubes in her. I mean, I very rarely ever go out on the highway with this thing. It's pretty much just a street beast for in town. Like I said, it is a long bed. Got roll pan on the back, true duals all the way back. Not sure what mufflers are on it. I'm pretty sure they're Flowmasters. I haven't really looked. It sounds pretty good. Interior wise, I had to take the door handles off, and I replaced it with a piece of aluminum, and I put a window handle on to shut the door. But it works because I put a 8-point roll cage in, and I did that just because I like the way it looks. I kind of wanted that pro street drag car look, but you know, just something I'm going to drive around every day, or not every day, but frequently. I did not put the bars out the back window. I like the sliding back glass, and I didn't want to put the Lexan in it, so I opted against that. The floor pan under there had a hole in it, so I had to cut that out, and I re-welded a new floor pan in. Swapped the steering wheel out for a Grant GT. I had a 68 Nova that had that steering wheel, and I was a big fan of that. So went with that option again. Got the shift light. It's set at 5500. The cam in this is a Comp Cam 268H, and I'd pretty much just have stock lifters in it, so I don't really want to go above 55. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've gone over a couple times a little bit, but probably not good on it. Put some Jegs 5-point harnesses in. Got the clicker, because I like that better than the latch. Some new Jegs, or these are Summit Racing seats. Fairly cheap. I think it was 290 bucks for both of them. And they're pretty neat. Mounted on Summit seat sliders. Got some toggle switches here. This is going to be for the line lock when I put it on eventually. This here is for the radiator fan, and this one here is to run your gauges and basically power the truck. Ignition switch, if you will. And it still runs off of the key as well. Got a B&M, what is that? Pro Stick with the pistol grip. Hold on, we have a garbage truck going by. Thank you. It's a B&M Pro Stick with a pistol grip. I had a mega shifter in here, and it was a full ratchet action. I didn't care for that. This one you can bang it into the next gear, downshift it, and this has a manual valve body, so you have to shift manually. The transmission will not shift on its own, so that's actually, it makes it fun to drive. You know, you can get her up to 3,500, 4,000 RPM, slam her into the next gear, tires bark. It's a good time. And last, this is what I just most recently did. It might be kind of dark under here. Got the Motion, I think it's a Motion Pro Perfect Launch cover, and I put 373 gears in it with a posi, and it is just the stock 7.5 rear end, so it's not going to take a whole lot of abuse, but it was a one-legger, and I'll tell you what, that just doesn't cut it with one of these trucks. Anybody that's watching this has probably drove one or has one, and you know, it's just not gonna do. So that's it. That is the 1984 Chevy S10 with the 355 small block. I don't even know if I told you it was a 355. It is a 355. I think that's about it. Can't think of anything else I really did to it. So we'll hop in here and take her for a ride. Now, a few weeks ago, this thing started knocking. I thought for sure this old girl was toasted. I mean, she was changing with the RPMs. It was squeaking and crap when the idle came down at a stop sign. Turns out I have a cracked flex plate, so I have to replace that. I'll still go for a ride video, but I'm not going to get real crazy with it because I really have to swap that flex plate out. It's not, I mean, it sounds like a rod knock. It's not though. This motor's got probably 50 miles on it. And I don't know, I haven't pushed it hard enough to where I think it would be knocking. I mean, I did build it myself, so anything's possible, but that, and we've got a heck of a header leak down where the header goes into the collector goes into the downpipe. Half the flange on the downpipe is messy, and so this thing is going to go to the muffler shop as soon as I get that new flex plate in. And I'm going to have a weld a new flange on there. Because, I mean, she does the pretty good. So, just keep that in mind when we're riding. It's going to sound like it's knocking, but it's just that stupid flex plate. I bought a cheap flex plate. Now I'm paying for it. So, we'll get a good one in there. Slide the tranny back and slap her in. So, alright, let's go for a ride. Hear that header leak. Driver's side. They didn't think I'd drive it today. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Probably should have filmed a lot more of the process of what I did inside this truck this winter, but I was out here most days welding, cutting, grinding. It was 30 degrees half the time. I was all bundled up and just making a video. Just my garage isn't heated. It did not sound like a good time. So do you want to ask your opinion? We have this. This is a 1940 Chevy truck. My wife purchased this off of her aunt and uncle, who purchased it off of her father back in the 80s, I'm gonna say, maybe the early 90s. It's got a Ford 9-inch rear end under it, 1969 350 Chevy. I ran the numbers on it, and it's been sitting for over 23 years now. Hasn't been fired. We got it a couple years ago, drug it home, and I haven't done anything with it yet. If this is something you guys would like to see me make some videos on, you know, let's see if we can get it fired up, get the brakes unstuck, you know, get it on the road and do a burnout in it. You know, let me know. Give me a comment. I think it'd be a pretty good thing. You know, maybe try my hand at a series of videos on something instead of just these random check out my stuff videos. So there's that. So anyway, guys, appreciate you guys checking out my videos. I'm gonna seriously try to do more. We're gonna do some more jet skiing this summer. You know, maybe I'll do a video on getting them going. It's about time to de-winterize them and be thinking about cranking those babies over. So all right, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for checking out my video. Later.